had this whole thing that I wanted to talk about, and then my wife got me this thing. It's called the 6-minute diary. And it's like, I'm not a very good diary person, but I understand the absolute true value that's behind it. And it's got all these different categories in there, like, hey, I'm grateful for this, or this is how I'll make today great. But when I open it up, it says, what you do today can improve all your tomorrows. And it completely just sidetracked me. Like, this is my focus now, right? So improvement. You know, last year in March of 2020, and I just thought of this as soon as I read this, Todd tasked us with, hey, just because we do something a certain way and it works, doesn't necessarily mean it can't be better. So what in your life, what in your business, what in any area do you want to improve on? And do you see the value in it? And so a lot of the times people are like, well, you know, I got business and everything's great. And right now I have 57 buyers, but I can't find them anything. Well, that's a problem, right? So even if you're closing stuff on the regular basis, it's just, what are you doing to improve your sort of action, right? So let's go back to golf. So they just finished the Masters, and Hideki Matsuyama wins. He's the first Japanese player to win the Masters ever. I mean, talk about a country that is going to be over the moon for excitement for this guy, and he deserved it. He played really, really well. When there was a turning point within the tournament, and it was on Saturday, they had a weather delay, okay? And storm comes ripping through. I think it was probably about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of delay after everything was said and done. And everybody, like, the course changed just like that. Like, it got significantly slower because the greens were lightning fast. Everybody was still trying to play it the same way. Well, they were coming up short. They weren't sort of improving what they were being tasked with. And Matsuyama then later that day, through his interpreter, was like, you know what, we stuck to the game plan, but I had to get a little more aggressive, because he knew that the ball was going to be holding, so he could fire at pins that maybe he wasn't normally going to do. And in 8 holes, he ends up shooting 6 under par on the final 8 holes of his round, like after a 2-hour delay, like completely separated himself from the tournament. Now, he tried to give it away towards the tail end of yesterday. However, like, that amount of pressure is just absolutely terrible, right? Like, I mean, it'll crush anybody. And so the improvement portion of this was he stuck to his plan, right? We've always talked about sticking to the plan, but he was also thinking to himself, how can I improve from my Saturday round to my Sunday round? Now, maybe his actual plan of attack changed just a little bit based off of his lead, but think about your plan. Think about your improvement. What are you doing in your business? Is everything running at a very, very high level? Yes or no? Here's the good news. It can change. Whatever you want it to be, it can be better. So you got to ask yourself, well, Jeff, what's better? Well, that's up to you, right? What's important to you, right? Is it, last year we did a lot of lead generation. We did a lot of prospecting. Is it more time? Is it more energy? Whatever it is, you spent a lot of time last year looking and analyzing your business, your personal life. And I hope, and it took a pandemic for us to really hit the pause button, figure out what we were doing right and or wrong. And I pray that that never happens again, but you looked into your business inward, downward, outside, upside down, every aspect of your life, you got some sort of clarity. So what's important to you? Is it time? Is it money? Is it family? Is it removing all of sort of that minutia off your plate? Whatever it is, it's completely up to you. So the one thing you need to remember is maybe it can be better. Just exploring the options alone, asking the questions internally, how can I improve in this current area of my life? So here we are at the beginning of Q2, right? Let's make that massive leap in the next 79 days, okay? That will get us absolutely dialed in, and then see what the repercussions, and by repercussions, I mean absolute massive reward that's going to start and then release, and see where it takes us, setting us up for Q3. So where are you at? How can you improve? What are those fine areas? Because if we look at the participant list in this group versus our skills group versus our lead generation, scripting, dialogue, they're so very, very different. But I want to ask you, from the golfer perspective, do they take a day off? The answer is absolutely. Ask Rory McIlroy if he should take a day off. Brooks Koepka got hurt. Let's ask him how he did. Neither one of them made the cut. And I'm not saying it's because their game's awful. They just were not dialed in where they needed to be. So you constantly have to be feeding this business. You have to be feeding yourself, constantly being improving on every aspect of every area of your life if you want to have that massive leap. And then, like I tell my skills group, plateauing. That means we're just riding really, really high at a very, very high level, but we're not dipping. We're not having the highs and lows. We plateau. Plateau is a very, very good word from time to time. So let's plateau in sales at a very, very high level, and let's continually to improve or seek improvement. And then I'll tell you what, we will get there one day at a time.